What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z Conversation Between the Generations. I represent the Y, one of the best generations to ever cross this plane, the millennials, Jay Clark. My young whippersnapper over there, the ones behind us who like to cause a little or a lot of trouble, depending on where you're sitting. Gen Z, my brother Xavier Lewis. How are you this week, sir?
What's good, brother, man? I'm doing amazing. Hope y'all people doing amazing. We're getting closer and closer to hopefully wherever you live, somewhat of a fall season.
The
If
forecast is only
people,
80s in Texas next week. I'm like, come on,
hey,
bring it
come on
down,
now.
bring it down.
If we could just keep coming down, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling it. I got hope. I got hope. But and of course, if you're in that Florida area, Georgia, stay safe. Could be getting possible, Helen or
Oh, no,
Helene.
it's hitting now. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
at this point.
At this point. So yeah, stay safe out there in these streets. I know I dealt with that about 2 weeks ago, so stay safe.
It's been
Um,
serious. It's been last week was kind of heavy, and the world is kind of heavy right now. We were talking, and we gonna try and have a little lighter fun today. Like, share, subscribe, please. Join us in this conversation. But sir, we were talking pre-show, and you had something I think would lighten us up a little bit. What you
yeah,
got?
man. I mean, let's talk about it, right? So I've been seeing this trend go around TikTok, maybe like the past. It's actually kind of evolved a little bit. It started off with people talking about a certain song, and they were like, "Dance like a video vixen," and it was so funny because that era of music videos, the dancers were dancing, but it was just. It wasn't like they were doing the most. They were just kind of, it wasn't twerking. They were just booty popping or whatever, hips, kind of mainly on that. And
Sir,
then, it's kind of,
you were like two in this
bro,
era.
I wasn't, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like two. And, I got a little bit of it the older I got up and I would watch like MTV. And
Mm-hmm.
this is when MTV would actually still show music videos. And I'd be like, man, that looks pretty lit. This is the whole, okay, so the conversation that I want to talk about today, like I said all that to say, the evolution of music videos. I feel like in sense, our ability to have a good time or like even imagine what a good time might be like, it's because our music videos have changed.
Number one, let me just say this as a fella who was
Right from this
straight
time.
up in puberty, high school, middle school, during the height of the video. Ooh, child. It's a good
Bruh,
time.
you ain't even gotta say. You ain't gotta say.
I mean, it's just we weren't I wasn't just watching 106 in Park because I loved all those songs. Um,
Nah, I mean, bro, you was on there, and I'll even say this, like I'll even throw it in this little tidbit. It wasn't necessarily that they were just, how like nowadays this whole BBL culture, if that's what you want to do with your body, go right ahead. But I love the simplicity or like the natural bodiness of a video vixen. They didn't necessarily have to have a whopping size butt or bust out of their shirt titties. They didn't have to have any of that. But the appeal that they had naturally, ah,
Shout out because we got to do it. Shout out Melissa Ford.
oh yes, sir.
Shout out Buffy the Body.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Keytoy. Shout out like the list could go on
The
and on.
list could go on and on about this whole era of music videos. And it looked like a great time. You watching, let's just say, okay, a common one, everybody's probably seen the music video for In the Club. You thought in your head that when you went to the club, that's what it was going to be like.
Nah,
You
nah.
know for sure.
You know what it was? Especially for me as a millennial coming up, it was Usher's "Yeah" video. Because at
Really?
that point, that's cool. Because that's like '04
Yeah.
for like that was junior senior year. So at that cusp, like you're looking at okay, this was going to be like we got the like I said we talked about this before. Had the teen club in Jersey. So okay, this is what we supposed to be wearing. Trying
Right.
to let fitteds in the club. This house was like it was one of those like oh okay, this the party. This how it's going to go. Okay. So yeah, but anyways, back to what your original question was. Music videos presenting this life. I mean, yeah, it was one of the avenues.
Yeah,
Like,
I think, music, aside from, I think music videos played a bigger part in that, the culture. Even depending on what part of culture you were, whether it was like, a more hip hop influenced culture or whether you're like a more pop influenced culture. Even pop music videos were different than what they are now. Like music videos just as a whole have changed over the scape of over the landscape. And I think, and I don't get me wrong, I love, focusing more on lyrics and focusing more on the music. But a music video is supposed to just influence like none other.
well, so the quick history of music videos is they're a marketing tool. That's what that's what
Right.
they're out for, to push the song forward. And we know that people weren't really caring about them until the GOAT came around and did what he did with songs like Thriller, songs like Smooth Criminal.
This
You
is
know,
true.
like he started making them cinematic, bad. Telling the story using the music video to tell a story as well. Which great songs tell a story. Period. So that's a great one-on-one kind of lineup. And so we see
Right,
the
right.
explosion through the '90s and the 2000s, and then it kind of tails off. And I think that's it because the importance of their marketability has waned, unfortunately, which is crazy, even with something like YouTube. But what we see now on YouTube, it's how many different ways can I put this video up? It's okay, I'm gonna put just the album cover version, and then I'm gonna put the lyric video, then I might put a visualizer, and then I may do an actual music video, maybe, and then also I'm gonna put every live performance up there that's been done. Like, so unfortunately, it's become oversaturated just like everything else. And I think what it
Definitely.
really speaks to is the strength of or essentially here, what this has done.
The phone itself. Right. That's real.
Because you speak to what came to mind when you were speaking to, how it made was its impact on the culture. It's not just the music videos. It was like I think back on my time, it was the music videos, the shows that those music videos were being shown on. So of course you're talking about 106 TRL,
Yeah.
magazines, because these vixens, as you brought up originally, they were also some of your magazine girls. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely had a wall in my room when I was in high school. It wasn't posters.
Not
It
young
was
Jason, bro. Not young Jason.
high school Jason. It was young. It was covers from King and Smooth, or the inserts. Just I had a honey wall. I ain't gonna lie. I had a honey wall in high school on my room of so. But it's all that media. It's the radio ads. It was the radio interviews. It was funny. I was listening to a podcast today earlier talking about the Oprah effect and how she did. And so it's all these things that let you know something was good,
Yeah.
or how to consume, or what things give you that, oh, this is what's supposed to be like. This is, oh, as a kid, I think about, quiet listening to Quiet Storm and seeing some of those videos. We thought you ain't in love unless you want to be singing out in the rain for your honey. Why do we
Right,
think?
right. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you
Like
suck.
it literally, I'm telling you, the music videos were setting precedents in homes across America. Your girl didn't feel like she loved you unless you was outside her window trying to get her attention. Like now, before then, how realistic was that? You wasn't seeing no cat in the 80s trying to stand out somebody, in the
Well,
70s trying to stand
I
out
would, I would
somebody's
say that's
window.
I would say that's when it started, because taking that movie reference, I forget which movie it is, but one of them was one of those Breakfast Clubby type movies, the one with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
homeboy standing outside the window with the boombox. That's where things like this come from. It became such a visual thing, like, oh yeah, he loved her so much, he gonna be standing outside her room with a boombox trying to get her attention and get her love. And so it's the impact of visual stuff like that that really influences the culture.
Dead serious. And I think, the lack and of course, the music videos are just so different now. Not even saying that, even like, let's just talk financials, right? A lot of music videos now could be low budget because, we have like, you brought up phones, right? There you could shoot a whole
You can
music
shoot
video
it.
on your phone,
I can shoot it, edit it, and upload it all right here.
on my
Right here.
phone.
Literally, right there. which is
And like we were saying before, with all the music that's coming out, the same is for the music videos. You ain't got nobody you running this by saying, hey, does this actually look good, sound good by a credited individual? And so now that's why you like say we have such an oversaturation of so many different forms of a music video. Ain't nobody popping out a good music video how like Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes was on top of his game with his music videos. They were.
well, also think about it. These videos were the chances for us to see the artists do these songs.
Because everybody wasn't uploading live
You
performances, all that kind of
well,
stuff, right?
even if you had a live performance, like that's what made the live performance also special too, is because you either caught it then or you missed it. 106 in Park was important because okay, you gonna catch these songs now or you're gonna miss them. They would be playing all day and stuff on MT, but you never knew when they were gonna play. It was just like the radio, and you
Right.
couldn't go to YouTube to be like, oh, I really want to watch me Sade's Sweetest Taboo video right now. Okay, today I can go to YouTube and watch that thing over and over and over and over again if I wanted to. Back then, no, it was okay. I have to watch MTV or BET, whichever show, and hope I catch it. And if you didn't, you didn't. If they played it, great, but there wasn't no guarantee they's gonna play it. And
Right.
so that's what made it special because this was my chance to see. I don't know why Sierra is just in my head right now. Oh, this was my chance to see Sierra. Bam, that's the video. I can't go follow her on Instagram and a Destiny's Child video. I can't just go do Destiny's Child. So like that wasn't around back then. You had a web page, their website maybe, which had some promo photos and stuff like that. But to actually see them and experience them, this was one of the few times you got to. Now
Right.
you're
Right.
so in touch with your artist. It's like, oh, Beyonce next door dropping another video. Okay.
It's so much to the point where I mean, you didn't really see it before, but Beyonce is just at this point now.
It's just
Beyonce released two songs on a random day of the week, and people ate it up. You couldn't do that 20 years ago, like talk about.
since we brought up Beyonce, just as an example name, but Beyonce is a great reference point here because literally, what has she done her last two albums? Not dropped any visuals. It's
None.
right to the point where it's like you dropped two commercial releases and not a
One single
music
video.
video. That lets you know the state of things right there and then. One of the so here's your stretch. We went from the biggest artist of all time redefining what a music video is to
Michael
now
Jackson, of
arguably
course.
to now what is arguably one of the biggest artists of all time, if not one, maybe two, depending on your genre.
Of
It's one
course.
or one A, one B, whatever, dropping two albums and not a single music video.
No.
Like,
Watch this. Even to the point, okay, could Beyonce be redefining what like the whole sense of experiencing her is away from music videos? Because we see what Beyonce's been doing. She goes on tour, she records the tour, releases the tour as a movie.
Beyonce is trying to force how you interact with the music, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but Beyonce is essentially forcing the ways you can interact with it. But we also know part of the problem is because not you necessarily, unless you're
Yeah.
really getting down to Cowboy Carter in your private time on your feed and look. Everybody's uploading their own version of the music video. They're creating dances, they're creating visuals, and so once again, it creates this 50 million lane highway that nobody knows which lane is the correct one or which lane is like, yep, this is the lane we're following because this is the one. Now it's oh, I interpret it this way and this is how I see it. Okay, that's fire. Somebody else interprets it another way. That's how they see it. Okay, that's fire too. Somebody else does the same thing, might not be as good, but then like there's so many different visuals out there. It's like, oh, okay. I don't need to revisit this over and over again because
Right.
somebody gonna create something new today or tomorrow and upload it, and it's not gonna be the whole thing. It's gonna be that 30, 45, maybe a minute max snippet on a reel on Instagram or TikTok.
Right. It's I'm not gonna say it's sad to say, but it's just I mean, well, no, it's a little sad to say. Music videos were works of art. And like you said, because it wasn't just readily available all of the time, that made them even more special. You know what I'm saying?
Like, imagine having your favorite music video right now, like a song that you just love, and you love, and the music video you happen to love too. Couldn't just you had to wait until somebody decided to play that.
And you never knew when exactly they were gonna play it.
I remember like Genuine's Differences, aka My Whole Life Has Changed. Great song, loved it. I'm like a freshman, no, freshman or sophomore in high school. During the period, probably saw closer to sophomore. Love that song. Love the video. If I wanted to see the video, I had to make sure to check into 106 in Park that day to get my one chance to see it. And 106 in Park was cruel for this because understanding programming, they weren't just playing the whole video. Sometimes they
Pieces.
gave you the whole thing. Sometimes, depending on what was going on, you might only get 30 seconds. So imagine being teased with this. Oh, this I've been waiting all day to watch this. This my song. I heard the song, but I want to see the video. I want to see a matchup. And you get 30 seconds, Free and AJ. Yep, number 3 song. Here's Genuine Differences. Bam, grooving. 30 seconds, they fade out. That was your number 3. What the? You pissed.
I mean,
Now
even
you're
look
not going
at
to get a chance till tomorrow. You got to wait a whole another 24 hours and hope that it's still on the countdown to see it. And that's it.
now. I'll say this. I know. Well, no, I think this is where we all agree about this particular individual. I think he was trying to switch up a little bit with the game too, and that's Robert. Trapped in the Closet was a series of music videos.
No, it's songs. Songs. He did the music videos to go with them. You're really going to make me talk about this.
We can't talk music videos and not talk Trapped in the Closet.
So it's not necessarily the video. Like I would slightly disagree because part of the thing was it was the song. There was a song focus on the songs first. Like I remember because he dropped like the first five first.
Uh-huh.
I remember when we got news or a hint, a rumor that he may be dropping the next song or next series of songs, and it was going to happen like that afternoon because that's how and we were, I think it was Power 105.1 back. Like it was like we were waiting because it was like, oh, the rumor was they gonna get so. But again, like that's part of that environment. Like you had that hype, you had that, so crazy wild ass viewing. Definitely a standout music video, but that necessarily wasn't just about the video. The video is just the
Yeah.
visual representation of the song back then.
I mean, even you could talk Contagious, the Isley Brothers, right? You know, music videos, telling stories. And all of them weren't just, it wasn't an oversaturation of music videos just telling stories. Like we said, some of the more hip hop songs, they weren't necessarily telling a story. They just conveyed the presence of what the song wanted you to feel like.
Bone Thugs, Crossroads, one of the scariest music videos as a kid. What is going on here? What is going on? Scary music video. Great song. It's like, woo, oh, but again, a video that helped kind of enhance the song a little bit too. It gave
Yeah,
it was like, oh, okay.
I see what this song is actually supposed to be. Okay, that's another thing. Are we leaving from the era where a music video could enhance a song? Maybe some of the songs nowadays could be enhanced if they had a good music video to go along with it.
Oh no, some of this stuff today just isn't going to be enhanced because it's trash to begin with. It's too much. But no, there certainly was the beauty of, especially because nowadays you're so used to them being dropped simultaneously. It's release day is the same. Like if they're gonna do a music like New Music Friday, you got a song you ain't never heard of before that was brand new that came with the music video this Friday. Whereas you got to mix sometimes. Like it was very rare to hear unless it was an artist they were really breaking for the first time, like 106 in Parks, New Joint of the Day. It was very rare sometimes that you were getting a song you would never heard before. Because
Right,
generally, it's
right.
like we've heard the song and the song is a success, and it's going, and the video would come a little later. So sometimes it was something,
And
oh, I know
that's
this song, I love it, and now the visuals are adding to it.
that's a big thing when it comes to like budgeting. The fact that back in the day you couldn't just pick up your phone and record you a music video right away. It was
Hey,
almost like you kind of needed your song to be a success to fund the music video that you wanted to create to go along with it.
we just had to have label backing. Sometimes it would be
Yeah,
planned,
yeah.
but it made that emphasis of there is a plan. There is a okay,
There's a set order that this needs to go in.
gonna drop this song on this Tuesday. A couple weeks later, we're gonna give them the music video. So it was that life cycle plan versus now it's just I'm gonna throw all this stuff at the wall and we'll see what sticks. And if something sticks, then we'll push it some more. There was those plans. And it was, you look, you got, the songs were different. Unless sometimes it was that reintroduction, like, yeah, I remember. I think the first time that came with the video. Sometimes if you were an artist of a certain stature or you were that comeback single, is like, okay, yeah, sometimes we'll hit it with you all a little
Oh
early.
yeah, they're gonna hit you all at once, right?
But yeah, and then like it's like the music video was special. If you were lucky, you were getting maybe two or three songs off the album for the music video that would get a music video with it. Now y'all are just every song getting a music video sometimes, or every song, and it's just like, okay, this is just it's not special anymore. It's not
Right.
special. It's and like a big part of that the root reason, one, because the music ain't special, and two, just because the way the consumption is nowadays, the habits. It's like, okay, yeah, there's no point. Like I can watch this anytime I want if I so choose. It's
Yep.
just
It's going to be interesting to see if what is going to be. I mean, I think we already kind of see where it's going. And I remember the first time I kind of got a whiff of where music videos might go, and that was with Lil Nas X when he first like released Old Town Road and stuff.
mm-hmm.
He did like these AI visualizers for his music videos, and they were just loops. So I was like, oh, he got a music video going with this song, and so I'm watching it. I'm like, this is just a loop. This is just an AI loop, a visualizer that he's created. And I'm like, what is this, boy? this is not what I want to see. A music video. But things are different. Could it be that the TikToks and the reels they're gonna kind of be the way you consume pieces of music.
They are nowadays, and it's sad
Yeah,
because kind of what one of the things you originally started this with was the music video helped categorize things for you. And I think that's what's missing a lot now. It's like you knew outside of what the song was about and listening to it and being able to do it that way, but the music video helped. Oh, this is this a cookout jam? Oh no, yeah, the video showing people partying out. We having a good time.
right.
Will Smith's "Summertime" comes to mind. That the music video was literally, oh, this is what we do it in the summertime. Is it a good breakup song or a good love song? Well, the music video would echo that a little bit.
It shows you what you should be feeling when you listen to this song.
or contextualizing what it's for. Is this a party jam? Oh, okay, yeah. I see the people, 50 cents in the club. Outside of the title being in the club, I know it's a good
I see people in the club.
Usher's, yeah. Huh, that's a club record because, yep, it's in the club. We having a good time. We saw what happened when stripper music really started taking over because strip clubs were a big thing. They became a little bit more explicit, and that's what you saw a lot
Right,
of.
right. That's
You know,
what you saw.
like, but yeah, like that helped you contextualize. Oh, okay, this is the proper place or how I should feel about this. Oh, this is a love song. I'm seeing this interaction between the man and the woman, or with
Right, right. You
that
see
type
this whole thing unfolding in the music video, and you're just kind of like engulfed in it. And then subconsciously, you're like, okay, this is what I think love looks like. It just becomes, even if you don't want to express that verbally, it just becomes what you believe to be true in your mind. And you start drafting. I mean, I'm gonna just be one of the ones. Me growing up and still being able to experience the latter ends, I wasn't alive during the true prime of things, but I was able to get some of the latter ends of it.
you
And
got.
that's why I am what I am. Don't say anything until I finish my sentence.
Sorry, you got them wonky years of 106. Sorry.
Yes, the wonky years of 106. And this is why I wasn't just like the biggest fan of 106. It just wasn't like all that to me in my time period. But the way I am in my head, I'm like, okay, this actually, like this, what I'm seeing on these music videos, what I'm seeing being portrayed. I want to, you got to think, I'm young. I'm like 3, 4, 5. And I'm trying to shape my whole future reality around what I'm seeing on these music videos. A big thing, well, I think also like having those classic, I mean, of course, to the black community, those classic black movies, they need to be continued to be watched over the next decades because it keeps instilling that thing. You know, I want my children to watch Roll Bounce. I need them to watch what Roll Bounce is a great movie. I need my children to watch Don't Be a Menace, scary movie. Like I need them to witness I need them to watch Poetic Justice. But Love and Basketball, very toxic, storyline. But it made us, it shaped a lot of what we know to be life per se.
I'm glad you brought it back there because once again, your original thing of music videos and the culture, taking the music itself out. These were our influencers, or these were
Yes,
it's like
yes.
what's the car they're driving, what's the outfits they're wearing, where the clothes, how are they putting them together, what's the shoes they got on, in a way that not saying that we don't highlight and pay attention to those things now, but once again, it's that overabundance. We were all prime example. Usher's, yeah, just because that
Yes, it's right there.
the blazer with the button-up shirt opened up underneath it, or just with the mat, like, and then the jeans, and like it's things like that. That's like, why are we all doing this? Because Usher was doing it.
Right.
Because Jay-Z was
a
doing it
whole
in his video for
club.
99 Problems. That's where we got our style, besides of actually being out, but these were the like overabundance, and we were all seeing the same thing. Versus now, oh, you follow some dude who may be doing it, and you're gonna pick some things up from that, but I'm not necessarily seeing that same thing. Your friends may not be seeing that same thing, and so you don't see that overarching, widespread thing that we were used to back then.
But this is why your main gatherings, large gatherings, the themes haven't changed since the mid 2000s, the late 2000s. You're still having to recycle a Y2K party. You're still having to recycle a Freaknik. Hopefully nobody's trying to recycle a freak off. But the thing is, but the thing is, you had a set standard back then that okay, this is what was given this was what was given to the masses in mass. Okay, even the party promoters know, okay, we gonna throw us like a Usher style, yeah, party. And everybody know when you pull up to the club like this is what is gonna, this is gonna be the vibe that we going for. Nowadays, we try to throw a party. That's why we're still recycling those same themes because there have been no new themes created because nobody is watching the same. Like you said, it's like 50 million lanes. If you decide to choose a theme of today, who's to even know that everybody trying to come to the party is even gonna know about it?
Common frame of reference is so important.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I don't think we realize how much we've lost is a common frame of reference. Because I know, like for example, I know I can tell a joke similar to something I may have seen on Fresh Prince, or tell the joke from Fresh Prince, or say a line, or say it in a way that was inferred there. And I know that you probably have seen Fresh Prince will understand what I've gotten because we have that common frame of reference without me having to say, hey, that hilarious joke from Fresh Prince that went such and such and such and set it up in such and such a way, you would understand. Versus, and Martin, for example, all I gotta go is creep, 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 creep. You know that joke because we've all seen it. We've all seen it. You know the scene. You know what it happened.
Right.
Versus, you could say a joke or a line or recreate a scene right now from the most popular video on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever.
You can interact with like 10 people. Huh? You can interact with at least almost 10 to 20 people, and all 10 to 20 of them have never seen it.
Have no frame of reference. No.
So it is so freaking scary that right now you have, influencers, all these different type of people, millions of followers, millions of views on their videos, and I still have no clue who they are.
It shows the impact strength of one against, again, that common reference point. Like, this is why this is why one mainstream stuff is so important because yes, getting into that lane, like yes, you can be and nobody's sitting here trying to call an influencer with 1 million followers small or anything like that. Like,
Nah, that's still a
but
huge
but your
accomplishment.
but your strength of impact. It's I forget what show it. I think it's I feel like this is a scene from a TV movie or a TV show or something like that. Some older black man talking to his son, I forget, but talking about, yeah, we all think our individual fingers are powerful, right? Yes, this they could all do this, but you put them together in a fist, and that fist has real power. The mainstream is the fist. Problem
Yeah,
is, we got all these different lanes right now, and nobody is coming together. No, nothing is unifying it. Nothing is forcing us all into the same place and understanding. So you're not seeing that impact. You're not seeing that level and that weight. Like I said, nobody's saying you're not small. You're doing, yeah, I can do some things with this finger. I can, and it does its thing, and I can survive with that. But they ain't gonna touch that fist. This
nah.
right here is something different, and right now, this is gone. It's just all this, and everything's going in its own way, its own direction, and nothing has the same power as this.
Right. Everything is just getting lost in the sauce. It's just a lot being pushed out. Nobody is really breaking through to that mainstream. And even in a form of, trying to grow your audience, it's even hard to do that because it's like, okay, you might have somebody that might, watch 5 seconds of the video, but are you really growing a community of people that actually and genuinely care? Like you had to be devoted back in the day because it wasn't readily available. You was looking at blogs, reading about people's celebrities. Like if you really were in with that celebrity, you were reading blogs, magazine clippings, all these.
That weren't being produced every day.
Exactly.
And so, here's somebody might have had their feelings hurt by saying your impact doesn't matter if it doesn't equal, that. Okay, let's just say the impact is the same, right? Nowadays, or back then, it was like, okay, bam, I took this hit from mainstream. I got to sit with it. I got to check out that bruise. I got to think about it, understand how it felt. Nowadays, it's bam. Oh, 3 seconds later, bam. Oh, you're not even recalling the punches. It's
No.
like, so let's just say everything's hitting on the same level. Fine. There's so many punches coming along that you just getting straight knocked out and can't appreciate that. You just, what happened? Bro, them 15 punches knocked you out. Was any of them good? I don't know. It's just
Exactly.
15 punches. How many
Like,
punches can you take? I don't know.
are we leaving time for us to be blown away by anything?
No, because the something, it has to blow you away the minute you interact with it. And if it doesn't, you're not going to interact with it again. And even if it does, there's just so much stuff you might, we're both past that period of when things lock in of like, okay, yes, this was core, this is fundamental. It's if it don't hit you like that, okay. And even if it does, dude, I'm gonna go back. That other thing just hit so much harder, or it just felt so.
Right.
If I'm gonna get hit by something, I want that punch. That punch felt like something. Versus, oh, that was your heart. Okay,
That's what I be telling. Like, TV shows have it so hard nowadays. Like back then, you could almost a TV show could have a slow rise, and you started to gradually appreciate it as it kept rising. Now it feels like TV shows got to start up here and somehow keep getting higher and higher. But I appreciate still watching a TV show that I'm like, I watched the first episode, I watched the pilot, and I'm like, I don't know, but I'm gonna stick with it. I feel like it's going somewhere. There's a beauty in that. And that's what people are missing nowadays. The essence of a slow burn. It's still a burn, but it's just a little bit slower. It doesn't have to engulf in flames automatically.
I like that. Yeah, y'all need some of that slow burn in your life because that slow burn is woo, sir,
Yeah.
sir. It's Y and Z conversation between the generations. Generation Y here, Generation Z there. Like, share, subscribe. If you think we're full of it, call us out. Let us know. You think there's something we should dive into? Go ahead, point us in the direction, and we'll see what we can get to. But yeah, that slow burn. Yeah, whew, it's all downhill like that. That the way the landscape was set up, we are, as you put so far, we swung to the other side, and hopefully there's a middle. But I just, with technology and like the cat's out the bag, there's no way you're putting the toothpaste back in the tube. We'll see what happens because every capitalism is feeding itself. But anyways, J Clark 787, the real Xavier
Hold
Lewis.
on. Before we get out of here,
Uh-huh.
today is National Quesadilla Day. So, Clark, I want to know what are your top three Mexican dishes?
I mean, give me a burrito, give me a chimichanga, or I honestly don't know. I just be ordering whatever I'm in the mood for,
So let me just say this: I do love a good chimichanga.
Give me.
So did you realize that like a chimichanga is nothing but a deep fried burrito?
Yeah, see, that's also part of the thing is some of these things are just literally just, oh, we're gonna take this burrito and
There,
fry it.
and
That's
that's the thing.
not
It's
part.
like you it's like you chimichanga something. It's like you just deep fry. It's weird. But no, okay, I gotta give it. I know it's not authentic, but God, a good hard shell taco with the orange grease running down the side of your hand that we grew up on in all black households. For some odd reason, we all had the same tacos growing up with the old El Paso taco seasoning packet. Give me one of them any day of the week. I will tear about 10 of those up just going. And of course, I love a good quesadilla. I just feel like it's a Mexican grilled cheese. It's amazing. You could just fluctuate it on so many different levels. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is a Mexican grill. Exactly. See, thank you. Thank you. Some people be thinking I'm crazy when I say that.
Well,
But
yeah, yeah.
you there with me. You there
I
with me.
feel you. I feel you where you're coming with that. Yeah.
And I got to just give some shout outs to anything that's fajita. I think fajita anything. It's just gonna be a great thing. It can be fajita chicken, fajita steak.
Tamales. I like a good tamale, especially from an elderly woman on the side of the road down here in Texas.
Man, what? You don't need, I don't want to go to your upscale tamale shop. No, not when Abuelita up the street makes the best tamales you've ever had in your life.
And we'll sell them out the back of her trunk. I know a spot where I might go up there for this dinner. Yeah, you give me the idea. Thank you, sir. Oh, speak to my inner fat kid. But once again, like I said, speak to us. Like, share, subscribe. J Clark 787, the real Xavier Lewis. Why is he the divide? Until next time, you prove some sense today, Gen Z.
I love doing what I do.